Welcome to this explainer. Today we're unpacking a massive global trade maneuver that is quietly but fundamentally reshaping international supply chains. We're talking about a literal masterclass in economic diplomacy and market diversification.
Okay, let's dive into our roadmap for today. We'll be hitting 1. The global trade shift, 2. A gateway to Latin America, 3. Beyond just garments, 4. Powering South-South trade, and finally, 5. Looking ahead to 2026. All right, let's get right into it. So, I want to start off by posing a central question to you. Why is Bangladesh, literally one of the world's fastest-growing manufacturing hubs, setting its sights thousands of miles across the globe to Brazil? Geographically, it's a massive leap, but strategically, it's a brilliantly calculated move designed to secure the economic future of a rapidly growing nation.
Section 1. The Global Trade Shift.
For decades, Bangladesh's export economy has relied super heavily on its traditional markets. Think the US, the European Union, the UK, and Canada. And while those markets are obviously still crucial, there's a ceiling to relying solely on them, especially right now amidst all the global economic uncertainty and supply chain disruptions we're seeing. For sustainable export growth today, geographic diversification is absolutely crucial. Tapping into emerging strategic markets like Brazil and the broader Latin American region is what's really going to ensure long-term resilience.
Section 2. A gateway to Latin America.
The specific solution here, orchestrated by the Brazil-Bangladesh Chamber of Commerce and Industry, or the BBCII, is the Made in Bangladesh Expo. Held in Sao Paulo in June 2025, this isn't just your standard run-of-the-mill trade fair. It's a truly historic platform. Think of it as a powerful branding initiative and the ultimate strategic entry point into Latin America. It's Bangladesh signaling to the entire world that they are a confident, globally connected manufacturing partner that's ready for direct business.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the deliberate sequence they're following on the ground. Step 1. Bypass the intermediaries. Historically, trade between these two regions relied heavily on international sourcing agents. The Expo completely cuts them out. That leads to Step 2. Direct face-to-face meetings between Bangladeshi manufacturers and Brazilian importers. This direct contact naturally leads to Step 3. Building genuine B2B trust. And once that trust is locked in within the economic hub of Sao Paulo, it unlocks Step 4. Seamless expansion across the rest of the Latin American market. It's like a domino effect.
But there's another absolutely massive driver for this expo, and that's correcting a severe trade imbalance. Right now, Brazil exports literal boatloads of agricultural commodities, stuff like cotton, sugar, soybean, and wheat to Bangladesh. In return, though, Bangladesh's exports to Brazil have historically been extremely limited. So this expo is specifically designed to correct that imbalance by putting high-quality Bangladeshi products directly in front of Brazilian buyers. They're essentially saying, hey, you sell to us, now let us show you what we can sell to you.
Section 3. Beyond just garments.
It's time to shatter a really common misconception, because Bangladesh possesses some incredibly diverse industrial prowess. Yes, ready-made garments and textiles are at the top, offering amazing quality, scale, and sustainability. But their market appeal extends way further. Take the pharmaceutical sector. They're providing high-quality generic medicines to over 150 countries. Then you have jute products, which are seeing explosive demand in Brazil right now as eco-friendly alternatives to plastic packaging. Add in a booming ICT sector, offering software and digital services, plus a world-class leather industry, pumping out quality footwear and accessories, and you can see the whole picture. The expo proves Bangladesh is a multifaceted manufacturing powerhouse.
Section 4. Powering South-South trade.
Okay, so let's zoom out to the big geopolitical picture. The key concept here is South-South cooperation. Basically, this happens when emerging economies build direct economic collaboration with each other, totally independent of the traditional trade structures that have historically been dominated by developed Western countries. By connecting a BRICS powerhouse like Brazil with a booming manufacturing hub like Bangladesh, they're leveraging complementary strengths to drive mutual prosperity. It's a real game changer for how global trade flows.
Section 5. Looking ahead to 2026.
Let's move to the timeline and see how this builds, because this strategy is gathering momentum super fast. Following the highly successful inaugural expo in June 2025 down in Sao Paulo, the focus for the rest of 2025 and 2026 is solidifying those newly established direct B2B connections. All of this groundwork leads directly up to November 2026, where a vastly expanded and much more diversified expo is already on the books.
So what exactly is 2026 going to look like?
Well, the BBCCI is planning something huge. We're talking expanded exhibition facilities so they can host even more sectors. They're adding specialized investment forums to drive actual industrial collaboration, not just, basic product sales. We'll also see deeper institutional engagement between the governments, along with heavily enhanced buyer-seller matchmaking. The BBCCI has actually issued an open invitation to global businesses because this specific event is totally poised to become one of the most significant trade events in all of Latin America.
I want to kind of wrap up the main theme of this explainer with a really powerful quote from M. Joinal Abidine, the Secretary General of the BBCI. He states, "The Made in Bangladesh Expo represents far more than a conventional trade exhibition. It symbolizes Bangladesh's emergence as a confident, globally connected economy." I think that just hits the nail on the head. It's not just about selling products, it's a massive strategic global branding shift.
And that brings us to our final thought. The success of the Made in Bangladesh Expo proves that the old rules of global trade are literally being rewritten right in front of us. As South-South trade continues to reshape the global economy, bypassing those traditional hubs entirely, we have to ask which emerging market is going to be the next one to bridge the gap. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I hope you found this deep dive into the future of international trade as fascinating as I did.